one more day for these live streams, and after that, pretty much it's probably going to be a break um, for a while. I'm not really sure how long, but most likely for a while. Um, and I must say, yeah, I'm probably gonna miss doing all these live streams. Yeah, I think I'm really gonna miss it. However, today in this story, but ready. Yeah, today's story weird. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Oh, okay. Big up yourself. Big up to the Yardi people over there. Yeah, man. Much love. Respect. Glad to see you. Long time. But yeah, but today's story, it's kind of tricky. This happened to me like years ago. Like, and to this day, I still think about it because of the way the story happened. Usually I don't want to share any story that I'm like really attached to. Yeah, man, bless up, straight. You see me? Yeah, so today's story, is kind of tricky. I just tuned in, I just, started the live stream. I was thinking about which story to share because I'm doing live stream every single story that to any stories that will come around and haunt me, a few years from now. So I have to be careful with the stories that I'm sharing, mostly because these stories based on, you know, things that friends shared with me, family member shared with me, and sometimes even strangers shared with me. But I decided to share the one this life just in case. I don't know. I usually I don't have any problem. Yeah. So since you guys already here, I just want to jump into it. So at least whoever show up later, I could just give them a rundown of what the story is. It's a long story, and as I said, one more day after tomorrow, you guys that are here, I think after tomorrow I'm taking a break from the live stream world. It was just a challenge to see if I could complete doing a live stream every single day for the month of December. And so after tomorrow, I'll take a break. And then after the New Year's, I'm going to be sharing new content, which is food. You see, more, it's not going to be only like, Jamaican food or whatever it is. It's going to be all kinds of food, but it's going to be based on what I know how to cook. But it's going to be more like a bush cooking. I call it nature cooking. Yardie people call it run boat, so but to give it a name that my viewers, because most of my viewers they speak, English, I would call it nature cooking. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. That's what I'm gonna be sharing. So you guys can expect for the New Year's most of those content, maybe 2 videos a week, 3 videos a week. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out it for the New Year's, but it's gonna be a whole different content that I'm gonna be pushing out. But it still have to do with health. Still have to do with me doing vegetarian because I don't eat meat. I don't really eat fish and dairy and all that stuff. But I'm gonna still try to around the vegan and vegetarian world. So that's what you guys can expect. Now, since you're already here, I don't want to waste your time. You guys wait, and usually I wait for like a few minutes before I jump into the story. But you know what? Um, Let me just start the story. All right, listen. This will happen. A year, a family member and I, we're really close, like really tight. And I don't know where we was, but he met this girl, and she was 17 at the time, and they were dating, and I think she didn't graduated, high school as yet, but she was almost, like I think she probably was a senior. I think it probably was her last year in high school. Those times, they were young, and I was young too. So, because it happened years ago. So what happened is basically, he met this girl. This, by the way, my friend, to make the story more broadened so people could understand what's happening. My friend or family member, everyone who knows me know my friends. Most of my friends is based on the Jamaican tradition. We grew up in Jamaica. We migrate here to the U.S. when we was young. We've been here, been to school. We did the whole thing. So anyway, so I just wanted. Turns out now my family member, met this girl. Started talking to the girl. The girl, she's in the American community. We all live there. So turns out that when she turns here in the states, there's such thing as I don't know what do they call it again, where you can't stay out too late or whatever it is. Share the story real quick, just in case we get cut off. But anyway, so it turns out that 18, whenever she was hanging out with my friend, he used to take her out, movies, restaurant. He done everything for her. But when she turns 18, and sometimes she wants to stay out a little bit later with my friend, family member, what would happen is that her mom would give her a hard time. You can't do this because you're living with, she didn't have anywhere to go. So, you know what I mean? Family member took her in. After it doesn't really matter. I just don't want to put it out there like that. So, I see a few. Thank you for the thumbs up. I see a few people tuning in. I'm trying to the Wi-Fi today. It's kind of like to know. Anyway, so basically, after the mom kicked her out the house because she was 18, but she graduated high school, and everybody keeps saying it's buffering. I don't get it. But okay, just yeah. So she was kicked out the house, and AKA messing up. I don't know what's going on. Today, as I said, the system maybe it need to restart or whatever it is. But yeah, I just want to get the story out real. So after mom kicked her out the house, 7, he said, okay, do you want to go to school? Do you want to work? She said, okay, I want to work for a little while. So she got a little part-time job, and she was working. She's staying with him, by the way, with him and his parents. So all of a sudden, she said, okay, I want to go back to school. He said, okay, no problem. So he was working. He's always working from day one. So all of a sudden, what he did was he saved his money. He bought her a car so she could have a car to commute back and forth, to school, because she don't have to work, because she was doing a part-time job. She stopped the part-time to do the school because she recently finished, high school. So now she started the college thing. So when she's in college and she's doing the back and forth stuff, after a while, he's taking her shopping, he's buying her pretty much everything that she wants, take her out like every sometimes, if we have to do a little hustling to make some money, we do a little bit of hustling, making some money. But it's like a family member. I always been there. Did not hear parts of the story. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do the overall. So whatever you missed, don't worry. I got you. So damn, where was I? So yeah, what I was saying is that basically he have done almost everything for this girl, everything whatsoever. And they were living for a while, same apartment, with his parents and her stuff, all that stuff. We helped with all that. Sometimes he would drive there to drop off groceries, whatever she needs. So she wouldn't really have to spend any money, or he would give her cash so she have pocket money. As I said, she's 18. She didn't want to listen to her mom's rule because her mom had curfew. And you're 18, you don't want to follow curfew. So the mom said, you know what, you're 18, you got to go. So the mom kicked her out the house. And, she lived with my, family. She was at the campus messing around, big deal or whatever it is. All of a sudden, my family member, he decided that, you know what, maybe she messing around, or maybe we hearing these things. Maybe I just should get her a ring, and maybe if she have a ring on her finger, maybe those guys on the campus, they will not really mess with her as much, because now she have a ring. So he proposed to her, say that he wants to marry her and stuff like that, gave her a ring. And before you know it, she was still messing around and doing all kinds of wild stuff on the campus. And people would call him up, send him a picture. Yo, this is what is happening. This is what she's doing. And then all of a sudden, one day he's got off work, went home, and she said she want to talk to him. And then she tell him, she said, listen, you know what, I don't want to you know do this, but I'm moving out. That's what she said. I don't want to do this, I'm moving out. So he said, what do you mean you're moving out? She said that, listen, I'm moving out, I have somebody else. Just like that. No information, no question, no anything, no if, but, then maybe, whatever. She just said, you know what, I'm here to take my stuff and I'm moving out. So she took all her stuff and she moved out, and she went to live with this guy, what I mean, that she was messing around with. And the crazy thing is that all of a sudden, I'm fine, still sleepy. Yeah, so all of a sudden, after she moved and she lived with this guy, I was sitting there and I was having a conversation with, my family member. And because he was sad, man, he was sad. He was down, so down, really sad. Um, we have a conversation, and I'm listening to him and he's talking. And even though he wasn't well, really like emotional about and leave, and he don't even know why. And because he knows she was messing around on the campus, but still he wouldn't leave her. He doesn't matter. Like, he still wanted to be with her, was still going to the campus, still was helping her out, giving her money, whatever she needed, all that stuff. But she decided that, you know what, enough is enough. I don't want to be with him no more. And she left. And she moved and she was living with this other guy. And all of a sudden, a few years later down the line, um, he told me, he was like, listen, I saw her, and I was talking to her, and I saw her in the streets into some kind of rehab, like a halfway house or whatever it is. And he said, what's going on, what happened to you? She said that she's on, I think, some kind of drugs. I don't know if it's one of the drugs, it could be any one of them, one of the crazy ones that makes you just look like you're done. She was drugged out, and she said that the guy that she was dating, he introduced her to like drugs and stuff like that, and she completely lost a lot of weight, and she looks really, really sick. He was so sorry for her. And she was on the street because she didn't live anywhere anymore. She'd been homeless now for years. And she said something to him, and she's like addicted to drugs or whatever it is. She don't know where else to turn. So when she saw him and she had a conversation with him, he felt sorry for her and he gave her a couple cash. But by that time, I mean, even though he felt sorry for her and everything like that, he was already in another relationship. I mean? And that's the good thing, that he moved on. Um, and I received more Christmas card. Oh, okay, in the mail. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, so it was sad because while he was feeling what he was, if that was right or not, but I guess at the time I was trying to cheer him up. So what I said was, listen, man, you don't need to worry about her anymore. That was when she left. I said, listen, man, you don't need to worry about her anymore. She was the way she is. Anyone can be with her. Even if I wanted to, I could be with her. And then he was like, he got upset because I put myself in the position where I try to compare, you know, I don't know, it was kind of like awkward. You should not put yourself also in that position where to say anyone can, can be with her. But I didn't understand at the time why, they would be upset. But it's because when you have someone who you're close to, you never think or even would, even in your wildest imagination, would think that someone who's close to you would even want to do something like that. Like you have a brother that mess with, like your girlfriend or whatever it is. That's like something that wears heavy, and yeah, that's like a different kind of pain. That now you feel betrayed and all that stuff. So for me, I realized that okay, I was wrong to even to say that she was like for everyone, anyone can be with her kind of person, like because what she did to him was really, messed up, and I guess I was trying to cheer him up, but that wasn't the right thing to say to someone, even though you want to like point out, I'm been happening a lot. Hey Sharon, how you doing, Sharon? Over 50, I see you guys here. I know you guys are here. Everybody make sure you give me a thumbs up if you're here. Our easy, quick story. So, maybe it's the weather. So I'm buffering. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get off the live streamer, and maybe I should restart this thing. What you guys think? The buffering. Maybe I need to restart it. I don't know what the hell's happening. Hmm. All right, guys. Let's see if I can restart it to see what's going on. Usually I don't have. Is it okay now, or is it still buffering, or what? Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. Usually I don't have this kind of problem with the buffering thing. Mm. So Slim, how is it now? Is it still buffering or what? Okay, I'll probably need to try something. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Trying different things. How is it now? Had to unplug my laptop because I don't know. Sometimes what would happen is like I have like three different phones connected to the Wi-Fi plus a laptop plus like a tablet, you know what I mean? Plus this TV. So I'm thinking maybe when you have a lot of things all hooked up to the Wi-Fi, it makes it slow. I don't know. I'm just guessing, guys. 11:11. So, so am I okay now? So maybe because I unplugged some stuff, so maybe that's why now it's a little bit better. Um, I don't know how much on the story that you guys received because I know it was buffering a lot. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think I should do like an overall what the story was about kind of situation. So even if you just show up, you would have an idea what the story was about that I just shared. So the overall of the story that I just shared is you know a family member and I. we was hanging out. He met this girl. At that time, I was real young. That was way back in the day. And he met a girl. She was young. She was probably 17 at that time, and they were dating or whatever it is. And then when I think she reached 18, just graduated high school, she started having problems with her mom. I think she started having problems because of, I think, I guess she wanted to stay out later because I guess when you're dating, you want to stay out later. But she had a curfew, and I guess she had some problems with her mom, and her mom kicked her out the house. She didn't have anywhere to go, so what happened is she decided to go and live with this family member. So while she lived with this family member, which was, was they was already dating anyway, and she didn't have anywhere to live, so you know, his parents decided it was okay for them to live together, even though they wasn't married or anything like that. So it turns out that while she was there, he helped her out with maybe like, clothes because she wasn't working. So took her shopping all the time. Um, basically, they go out to the restaurant like every Friday. I think they have to go to a restaurant like a date night thing. Um, you know, and she started working a part-time job, and then she decided that okay, she wanted to um, get a vehicle because my family member had to pick her up every single night from work. And then she decided that what, okay, now I've been doing this part-time job, now I want to go back to college or whatever, because she just graduated, 18, just graduated from high school. So what happened is after that is it turns out that he bought her a car, and he helped her to move on the dorm or whatever it is. She was there. Um, he was buying clothes still. He was supplying her with food, money, everything because she didn't have anybody else. All she had was this family member. Now it turns out that after being in the dorm, because she wasn't living with him anymore and he was working a lot, um, she started messing around with guys, at college. And someone saw what was going on, and it got back to him, or even to me. Someone came, who went to the college, said, listen, this is what's happening, that's what's going on. And he didn't even want to believe it. He said, nah, it's okay. So he said, you know what, since she's over there and she's messing around, let me see, maybe if I need to propose to her and give her a ring, maybe that will stop all the stuff that was happening there on the campus. So he decided to propose, and he gave her a ring, and she was still on campus or whatever. He was still going there, supplying her with clothes, food, money, everything, because she wasn't working, and he was helping her with the tuition and all that stuff. And she was still doing what she was doing nonstop. So it turns out that after maybe 6 months, on campus doing her thing or whatever it is, one day he came home from work, and she said, "Listen, I need to tell you something. Listen, I'm leaving. I have somewhere else to live now." So she pack her stuff up, everything, and just leave. Um, he was heartbreaking. He was like really sad at that time. So we was sitting there talking, and he was saying he can't believe what happened. It's like a shock, but it wasn't a shock to me because he knew and I knew that she was at college doing wild stuff. But he didn't want to believe it. But when she packed her stuff and just leave to live with a guy, then he'd be like, you know what? I can't believe with everything that I done for her, I can't believe that she picked up and leave. So it turns out that maybe a year later, he was driving and he saw her. She was walking on the street, and he pulled over to say hi to her, and he looked at her good, and he noticed that in her face she was dirty, and her face looks like really skinny, like she was kind of like she's on drugs kind of thing. And he was like, where do you live now, what are you doing? She said, I'm homeless. I'm living at this kind of recreation center or halfway house or rehab or whatever. She was like one of those places, that she was trying to get well. She said that the guy that she left my family member with, to go and live with, he introduced her to the drugs. And once she started getting taking drugs, she became addicted to drugs. And after that, he kicked her out the house. So she was living on the street, and she was so embarrassed she would not call my family member to say, listen, can you help me out for a bit? I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't have clothes. I don't have anything. So the only place she could turn to was like a rehab center, and they took her in, and they was trying to help her to get back on her feet. So when he saw me and he was saying that he felt really bad for her. Now, to me, I'm saying to myself when he was saying it to me, it's like, why would you feel bad for somebody like that? Think about it, guys, for a minute. You help someone when they were down, meaning they don't have anything. And you help and you build them up to a certain standard. And then you just pick up and be like, okay, I'm going, and just go and live with somebody else. Just like that. How would that make you feel? But apparently, my family member, he has a good heart. And he said if she had called him and be like, I need help, I'm on the street, I don't know where else to go, he said he probably would have went back and took her. Now, for me, I'm thinking maybe that's true love, or maybe that's just stupidity. I don't know. I don't really get it. Because a lot of men, we are foolish when it has to do with maybe that love thing. Many people say if it's love, it's okay. We could do foolish things or whatever it is. But I think in any instances, if someone use your kindness for your weakness and they take advantage of you, I don't think you should want to be able to be around these people. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with helping, but it just depends on what they do to you. If someone try to harm me in any kind of way, yeah, you can't really expect any help from me, because I don't feel like I'll trust you enough to want to be around you, kind of situation. So the fact still remain that what she did to him, she really hurt him, like really hurt him a lot. And I know now he's all over it, and he moved on, and he's living a good life. And he's really blessed. He's living the life that you can't imagine. So at the end of the day, what she did to him, I witnessed this firsthand, and the pain and the struggle that he was going through. And I have multiple friends that have this issue where they were betrayed big time, and it really, really hurt these guys. They can't sleep, they don't feel like eating, they lose weight. They was just stressed out for a while, and my advice always been, let them go. Whoever this person is, let them go. If they want to go, don't hold on to them. I believe that anything a person want to do, you should let them do it. As long as they're not going to hurt themselves or hurt anybody else. Of course, you try to stop them or try to talk some sense into them. I get that part. But I'm talking about if they do not want a relationship with you, they don't want the marriage, you have to let them go. I mean, I seen way too much situation where this woman, many times, she don't want to be with him anymore, and he used, um how would I put it, he just used violence on her badly. And I don't think any man should ever, you know take it to that extreme where you feel like because this person don't want to be with you, you're going to use some kind of violence and you're going to hurt the person. That's like a no. I never supported that fact. Um and but I get it. I do understand, even with the OJ thing. You know what I mean? Like, people don't even understand why OJ would be caught up in that kind of stuff. But a lot of men get caught up in that same exact thing, that he's a celebrity and he's going through it. So can you imagine people that's not celebrity? These things happen. And when you hear about women being abused and all these things, it has to do with a lot of things, of course. You know what I mean? But some of it has to do with the woman wants to leave and the man refused. He said, listen, if you go, this is what's gonna happen. So in I'm saying for him right now, the good thing is that he's happy. And yeah, yes, relationship is could be toxic, depends. What I mean? But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is, Slim, this guy invests so much into this girl. I'm telling you, like, okay, I know out there in the world, especially here in the States, because it doesn't happen everywhere else. I noticed that here in the States, it's a thing that happened that when once a male or a female, well, it mostly happened to female, really. Once she turns 18, I don't think it happened down south as much. I think it's like a northern thing, really, because I seen it happen here. You know, I know people who have done it in Pennsylvania. I know people who have done it in New Jersey. I know people who have done it in New York, where as soon as their kid turned 18, and they refuse to obey the rule, which is, oh, listen, even though you're 18, you still have to have a curfew. You got to be in the house by 11 o'clock. And if you're 18 and you finish high school, you didn't start college, or maybe you're looking for a job, in between job kind of situation, you need some time to kind of learn some stuff. So whether you're out late with your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or whatever it is, your parents have to learn to work with you, because as long as you're not doing anything crazy like hanging out on the street where you could get harmed, drive by, whatever it is, I would say by all means, if you're in a house or at a movie, or maybe a show, or whatever it is, I think it's okay to come into the house late, or whatever it is. So, for her to get kicked out at 18, and he took her in and he did everything, and then she turned around and she kind of like, that's like a slap in the face. And then after that, she went with this guy, and this guy introduced her to drugs, and then she become a drug addict, and then he kicked her out because she's a drug addict, which is so strange because he's the one who introduced her to drugs. This is what's crazy about the mentality of, it's not only men, because women do crazy stuff too, but in this situation, the guy, she, okay, check this out. She left my family member to go and be with this other guy. This other guy introduced her to drugs, because when she was living with my family member, no drinking, no smoking, you know what I mean? Because we're kind of like the same. We don't do that kind of stuff. So she wasn't doing any of that stuff. So now she been with this guy. So I'm sure that if she's taking drugs, most likely she's drinking. And if she get addicted to drugs, and then because now she's addicted to drugs, he kicked her out the house, and now she's homeless, living on the street, and now she don't have anyone else to call. She can't call her mom, and the only guy that was doing everything, and I mean in everything for her, clothes, food, money, jewelry, name it, she was getting it. Even if she's not working, he took care of everything. And then she did that to him. She's like, slap him in the face. She go and live with a guy. So listen, guys, I'm here to share with you stories that based on like things that are happening out there in the world, and a lot of people that don't learn. These things happen all the time. And you know what? There's a phrase that says, nothing is new under the sun. It just means that what goes around comes around. Everything is a cycle. So whatever you put out there, I mean, that's what you might get back. So it's always important to do the right thing. So for her, she didn't know that that's her karma. She didn't know that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure the other guy that was doing kicked her out. He probably had his karma. I don't know where he is, but if he introduced her to drugs, you know what I mean? I'm sure that's really bad. So whatever happened to him, or whatever situation he found himself in, you already know that's karma. Now, on the other side, my relative who's been doing good the whole time. That's why I'm telling people, the good that you put out there, that's the good that you will get, like a boomerang. You know what I mean? That's why you always got to look at things the positive way. You know what I mean? No matter what the situation is. Listen, if you're not harmed, you know what I mean? If you're healthy, you know what I mean? Like okay, for me, for instance, I'm here doing the quarantine thing. I don't really be much around family member, because of the job that I do. You know what I mean? People say, listen, it's best to stay away. So I don't really go, I don't really go around mom, dad kind of situation, brother, sister situation, and I try to stay away from everyone. But at the same time, I make sure that if anyone needs help and they reach out and they call and be like, "This is what's up," I will always help however I can. That's just me. That's how I do it. But it doesn't mean that I'm not being loved. It doesn't mean that I don't have connection. It doesn't mean that my family don't want me around or whatever the situation is. This is just my choice. So because I'm basically, doing quarantine thing, it makes sense to do YouTube videos and share all kinds of stories. But for the New Year's, I have new goals. So new goals is gonna be basically um, sharing things that are healthy, plant based, um, and also maybe some workout and stuff like that. But maybe, but most likely it's just gonna be plant based food, different kind of menus and ingredients. And if you guys want to try it, you guys can try it, that kind of situation. But yeah, this is, yeah, Slim, you're right. Some people do make bad choices, but I think the bad choices that you make, that sometimes that's what you have to live with. Listen, I know a lot of women have made choices based on their feelings, not knowing that their feelings is actually taking them down the wrong path. Like it's basically their feelings is leading them astray, and it goes both ways. Like, okay, for me, I could share this with you firsthand, guys. I know a lot of you guys, don't know this, but for me, when I was younger, I was always on the street. I was one of those guys, street guys. The guys you just see walking around on the block, you know, saying stuff, whatever it is. That was me when I was younger. When I was younger, I was wild. Now I'm grown, I'm more mature. I know what I want. I stay away from trouble, stay focused, keep my eyes on the prize, which is just, make sure I'm working, make sure I take care of my responsibility, that kind of stuff. Everything else, I kind of put aside, just to keep a peaceful mind and stay away from drama. I consider myself to be drama free. So because I'm drama free, I don't want that energy nowhere around me. So being, you know, on isolation works for me. I don't know about other people, but it does work for me because growing up, I'm always around family, friends, what I mean? Always. Like that's what I do every single day. Now I don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm doing different things, which actually work for me for the most part. So that's why I have tons of stories, things that happen. Like I cannot share the extreme things that I have done with you guys, but I could share random things, small stuff, mini stuff, like maybe something that happened a year ago with a friend of mine or whatever it is, or if someone called me up and they share, certain feelings or whatever, maybe I could twist it, turn it into a story, and share it with you guys. Nothing too dramatic, um, nothing too negative. I just always try to keep it PG. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be, even though everyone who visit my channel is all adults, no kids visit my channel, and which I don't really make my content for kids. But however, if a kid happened to click on my channel, you know, if the parents check me out, they'll see that, oh, okay, well, if he was watching me, I most likely I didn't say anything to corrupt any kid's mind because I'm just talking about normal stuff, relationship and um, things that I had experienced and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think Slim that this girl right now, I don't know where she is or what she's doing. How you doing, Roopster? I haven't seen you for a while. Happy New Year to you, and Merry Christmas to you. I know it's past, but this is belated. So, but happy to see you, Rooster. Appreciate you showing some thumbs up, showing some love. You know what I mean? But I don't know what you've been doing. I haven't been over there. This live stream do keep me busy, I must say. Yeah, Roopster, Happy New Year, man. Stay safe this year. Actually the year is almost done. So, hopefully next year will bring you everything that you ever wanted, because you're a cool guy and I like your content, that pool thing. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so what I'm saying, Slim, is that and still here. Oh, okay, okay. I see over 50 you're still here. So yeah, so over 50. What I'm saying is that in the situation, what my family and friend experience and Blair and all that stuff is, what do you do when you find yourself in a situation where you have done so much for a person and they just turn away and walk away from you, like no regards, no explanation. They just get up one day and just leave. Like what do you do? Like how you recover from that? So I understand what my family member was feeling. I understand that it probably was painful, and you know, I'm sure that at that time he probably figured, you know what, I would never love again. But the bottom line is, no matter how you look at it, love is a tricky thing. I don't really talk much about love because I know it's very tricky. It will sneak upon you when you least expect it. So I don't really conversate on that subject per se. But yeah, for other people, I see what they're going through. I see how things happen. And I must say, from my experience, a lot of things that happen to people, it happened to good people. And they don't really deserve these things. And, I would say for my friend right now, the good thing is that love can be blind. That sounds like a song, Slim. Love is blind. I think the person who sing that song, I think her name is Eve or something like that. Yeah. So I guess you've been listening to rap music, I guess. But anyway, I think that's where it's from, Love is Blind or whatever. But you're right. Yeah, but you're right, Slim. Some people, they love when they're in love, they don't see the reality of what's happening. Like when someone is treating you bad, because as I said, even for this guy, even though she did everything that she did, if she had called and be like, I'm in trouble, I need your help, she would drop everything, and he would drop everything and he would go and help her, because he figured that, you know what, I still love her, kind of situation. But um but I know also love can be dangerous. You know what I mean? And especially when it has to do with women, because woman love is different from men love. I think maybe it could be the same, because I seen a lot of dramatic movie, especially I think long time ago. I think on BET I saw this movie with Tyler Perry. I think it's like an angry black woman or Diary of a Mad Black Woman or something like that. What, I don't remember what it was, but it was years ago. I saw it on BET, and yeah, that's kind of like kind of like give you a wake up call of what can make a woman be really angry. Um, Something like that would make anyone angry. And I know that there's many situations where women also put men through. Oh, there. Okay, Diary of a Man. Okay, well I haven't remember, but what I'm saying is that that movie is really dramatic. You know what I mean? And I think maybe a lot of women who's been hurt, maybe that's how they react. I'm just guessing. You know what I mean? That once you're hurt in that kind of way. But however, um, I don't think. And the good thing about that movie is that I seen that even after he did what he did, she still went back and helped him, which was really weird, because I don't think that's normal. I don't think that's a normal thing. Yeah, I don't think it was a normal thing. And yes, that movie was like a fairy tale thing, because most women who I am not a player, just oh that's Fat Joe or Big Pun. No, Big Pun. Big Pun said he's not a player. But I understand what he was saying. But even in those instances, I think guys who mess around a lot, um, eventually they're gonna get themselves caught up in a lot of problems. And for all the women out there who feels like it's okay to do wrong to guys, eventually, what goes around comes around. It happens to both sides. I don't think there's no major difference between men and women. I think at the end of the day, there is woman that want too much and expect too much, and there's men that want too much and expect too much. Now, I say this for men and for women, in order for the relationship to work, I think you have to have what you call not the perfect balance, but a balance. A balance where everyone knows their role. It's kind of like at a job. When you're at a job and you know your job, you know your responsibility, you just do your job and hope for the best because there's no guarantees in relationship. Everybody knows that. I'm just here to share it with you. Like for me, as I said, when I was younger, I was the club guy. I mean, the travel guy. I was doing all kinds of stuff, like everywhere, all over, like expensive, flashy, all that stuff. That was me. Like when you see guys, there's not hype, but when they go places, they the most expensive stuff. And the crazy thing is that that's what I don't understand. A lot of guys, they wear expensive shoes, expensive clothes, and all that stuff. And most of them are still living with their moms. You know what I mean? Most of them don't own a house, but they have all these expensive cars. Listen, if you're driving a X5 BMW series, whatever, and you don't own a house, you're just wasting your money. That's because most cars doesn't really keep the value. It depreciates. So it's just crazy, and that's the kind of stuff I used to do. I used to just like buy all these expensive brands. My point, what I'm trying to make is that you know we do things. Yeah, Sharon. Sharon is still here, guys. Make sure you show her some love. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it's not easy. Relationship is not easy, but like when you see a guy like me, doing the live stream here. Let me tell you, I'm here doing live streams, making YouTube video as a choice. Like I don't even need to be doing this kind of stuff. I have other stuff that I could put my time towards doing. But I like doing videos. You know what I mean? Ever since I start making videos, which is if you see my old videos, I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't ask any questions. No one kind of point me in the right direction. Everything that I'm doing, I'm pretty much learning on my own. And I just been using my phone. I don't even use the camera that I have. And it's like an old camera now because I got it like, like years ago. And I don't even use it. All I do is just use my phone and I make my videos. I upload it. That's some simple stuff. I don't really do anything extreme. I never use my laptop to do live stream. I never use the notebook or none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Or the tablet, all that stuff. I never use that stuff. So what I'm just saying is that for me, I think I'm just doing the live stream because I like it. You know what I mean? It's something that I like to do, so I'm doing it. Black player, romantic. Oh, so Slim. My question is, I said something to my friend. If you listen to the story that I was sharing, when he was down, I don't remember if he was here when I said this. Maybe it was buffering at that time. But when he was down because you know the girl that he wanted to marry to, she just picked up and leave to be with this other guy that turned her into a junkie. When I was having that conversation, just listen to him like being sad and all that stuff. I said something that I don't know if it was the right thing to say, but now I don't think it was the right thing to say. But I'm just asking you, maybe to hear what you and Blair thoughts on this particular answer that I give. I said to this family member that this girl that he used to be with, that he invests so much money in, I stated to him that she was easy and anyone could have been with her, included me. And because I said that, he got upset. So my question to you, Slim and Blair, is: do you think he has the right to be upset at me because I said something that was so true? I'm just checking, because I was at the time, it was the facts because that's what she was doing. She was just running around. You know what I mean? And for any college female who's running around, that's what you're gonna say. She's running around. So so Slim, that's what I was asking. You know, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, did you think that he had the right to be upset because I said something that was so true? Yeah, yeah, that's what I saw. But what I'm saying is that she was at college running around. You guys know what I mean because you guys are all adults like me. She's at college running around. Okay, so Sharon, you know what I'm saying. So, do you think that he should be upset, and why should he be upset? Because I said that she was running around and everyone can do whatever, included me. So, if she was running around, I'm not that type of guy. You know what I mean? To do that. But I'm saying, like, even if I was the type of guy, she would have let me run around with her because that's what she was doing with everybody. And he got hurt because I said even I could have run around with her if I wanted to. But that's not me. That's not the kind of person who I am. But so Sharon said that he should be upset. So should he be upset with me because I said what I said, or should he be upset because of the fact that she left and she's still running around? Because even before she left, she was running around. So think about it for a minute. You know, I just felt like at that particular time, I don't think he should be upset with me because I stated the obvious. The obvious fact is that she's at college and she's running around with all the guys in there. So, okay, Blair said those words hurt. Okay, I understand those are, might be hurtful words, but those words are true. Those words are actually facts. You know what I mean? So, why should I lie to him and said that okay, she was a angel and she was a queen and she was perfect? No, I'm not gonna lie to him and say I said listen, she was running around because that's what she was doing, but he got hurt because he don't want to hear that she's running around. And I'm telling you that it's okay. Hey, how you doing, Kiki? Yeah, I see you here. You know, appreciate you showing up. You always give me thumbs up anyway. So what I'm saying is that Slim and Blair, you guys already know that in any situation, if a guy is a player, so you're telling me Slim and Roopster, like if a guy is a player, you're not gonna say, "Oh, this guy is a player." You're gonna say, "Oh no, he's a nice guy. He's doing the right thing. He's a good guy." You're gonna say he's a player. So how is it okay for you to say, Sharon? Like, I know Sharon is still here, so I'm saying, why would you want to lie to someone and say that the person who left them that they're not a player when they are? And maybe sometimes is the way you say it, and maybe the way that I said it, maybe that's what makes him a little bit angry. Yes, Sharon, you're right. The truth does hurt and it is bitter. That's the reality of the fact. I know a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, but if a guy's a player, I expect for you guys to call him out and say, you know what you are? You're nothing but a player. This is just the reality. And if a girl, if she run around and she's all over the place, I think you should call her what she is. Because that's what she is. So for me to say that to him and he's getting upset, I think that was not fair for me for him to say that because I'm the one who's there with him. You know what I mean? Talking to him, trying to comfort him to say, listen, okay, well, the thing is, when they are still attached. Okay, well, all right. So Sharon basically stating that in any relationship, once the relationship is end, whether it's the men who end the relationship or the woman who end the relationship, you will always have what you call I guess feelings. That's my interpretation. You always have feelings, and because you have feelings, I think that if you're trying to comfort someone, you basically have to choose your words carefully, Sharon, because I agree with what you're saying. It does make sense because when someone is hurt, I understand they're hurt, but that's how it is in relationship. That's why a lot of men right now, they're single, they stay by themselves, and that's why a lot of women stay by themselves because they don't want to be dealing with the drama. Because women bring drama, men bring drama, and the stuff that some men want and expect, a lot of women are not down for that. You know what I mean? So, and that's it. So it's easier for them to stay by themselves. They'll be like, you know what? I'm not gonna mess with these guys because they all are like no good kind of guys. You know what I mean? So even though it's not all guys, but just the guys that you have met or came in contact with, these guys are just they're up to no good. And when a guy's up to no good, you're not gonna want to be around that kind of energy. So I kind of get what you're saying. Well, the thing is, I think when it has to do with women, they are quite complex, Roopster. You know, as I said, with women, I said this in one of my live stream before. When it has to do with women, Roopster, as men, it's very difficult for us to figure women out because women base everything that they do on feelings, and men base everything that they do on logic. So when you have one person basing everything on feelings and the other person is basing everything on logic, you will always have two different answer, and everybody gonna come to their own conclusion. It's gonna be rare where they all come together as one. So in most instances, what I find from my experience is that you have, I think I said this in one of my live stream too. You have two kinds of women. You have the alpha woman, which means those women they're actually wearing the pants. You know what I mean, like the pants wearing woman. And you also have the alpha men, which is those men are actually wearing the pants. And then you flip it around, and then you have the the men who don't really act like men. So those men would go with the alpha woman, and the alpha woman would dominate those kind of men. And then you have, because if you, okay, it's very complicated. Okay, in my experience, I could say it's very complicated. If an alpha woman and an alpha man go together, they're gonna be a lot of sparks, which meaning a lot of fight. Okay, it's basically you put into how would you put it? I don't even know how it works. It's like putting two magnets together, and it would keep pushing each other apart because the magnets need some kind of metal to stuck to. So the magnets need something different. But if it's too magnets, you try to put it's not gonna stick together. The magnet needs some kind of other material to stick to. So if it's an alpha male, alpha female, most likely you're gonna have problems, and that's the issue. Most men are not really attracted to alpha women, but sometimes they find themselves with alpha women, and they would say, okay, I like arguing all the time because I know that she loves me when she argue with me all the time. She break things all the time. She will stab me if I get out of line, kind of situation. Strong woman, you know what I mean? Like a lot of women from New York City, that's how they are. I don't know if you guys ever been to the city, but I used to live in the city, and I've been there a lot of times. But that's how it is. I talk to a lot of women from the city. A lot of women from the city, most of them are like alpha women, very strong minded. especially if they're making their own money kind of situation. You can't even think you want to control those kind of woman because it's not going to happen. They're very independent. Those are alpha women. And then now you have the relationship that works is the relationship where the man is alpha and the woman is just where she's supposed to be kind of situation. And she's comfortable being in the position that she's in. He's comfortable being in the position that he is in. So when you find these two people are comfortable in each position, then you have no problem. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that they can't switch position from time to time, because I think in order to make a hey, thank you, my friend Jim, happy to see you, appreciate the thumbs up. In order to have a healthy relationship, you have to know how to flip the roles, okay? Because you don't want a weak woman. You know what I mean? You just don't want a woman that's stronger than you. Okay? You want a woman that's not weak, but you just don't want someone who's stronger than you. Because if she's stronger than you and you're a male, then, things will not work. You know what I mean? You're going to have problems. That's just the reality. That's how it really works. And it works everywhere, worldwide, all over the world. So the issue is, I think with my friend, and family member who been through this situation with women, I think both of them choose strong women, because strong women, they want to do what they want to do. They want to do it when they want to do it. They don't want no one to control them and tell them, okay, you can't do this, and that's why they do what they do. While you have, thank you, Blair. Okay, while you have other people, they don't do it like that. So basically, what I'm trying to say, guys, is it's okay to find your match. And I understand that's why a lot of women, they be like, you know what, that's it. All guys are this way. All guys are this way. And men will be like, all women are this way. And the reason is that because they keep attracting the wrong kind of people. Okay? If you are a bull, you cannot attract other bulls. It doesn't work that way, because those bulls are going to keep clashing all the time. So you have to be able to attract something else that will work for you, because you never know, whatever else you attract, the opposite, it will work. But to find these things, it based on location, okay? Because, like, for instance, if you want to date someone from the military, there's somewhere you could go where you can meet guys from military. If you want to meet a basketball player, there's somewhere that you could go to meet basketball players. Whatever sports you're into. You want to meet somebody who shoot pool, or someone who work in a bar, liquor store, whatever it is. There's places to go. So what I'm saying is that depends on what you want, should be the location that you visit, that you go to search for these things. There's nothing wrong with the internet. A lot of people do the internet dating thing. For me, I'm not one of those guys. I never did the internet dating thing. That's just not me. That's not my style. A woman, it can be strong. Well, first, okay. Guys, so Sharon says a woman can be strong but not controlling, and I'm saying is that I never experienced anything like that before. Um, if she's strong, and you say that she wants someone who is strong, I think that maybe you mean that she wants somebody who's stronger, because a strong woman needs someone who's stronger than her. Okay, perfect example. Have you guys ever noticed that woman who does bodybuilding, they never date regular guy? The guys that they always date is like mega, like The Rock kinda. Why you think is that? Do you think one of those bodybuilders woman would be attracted to someone like me, who is just fit, who's not bulky and big like those other wrestling guys kind of. So because what I'm saying is that she's a strong woman, so of course she's gonna want somebody who's stronger. She don't want somebody who's just like her. So I understand what you're saying, Sharon, but for the most part, I think still here, man. But for the most part, I think that strong women always want men who is stronger. Because if she dates someone who's not stronger, I promise you she's gonna be controlling. She wants to control. Okay, perfect example again. So, Sharon, for instance, if you date a guy or married to a guy and you're older than this guy, I promise you that you're gonna be in charge almost all the time. However, if this guy is big, meaning even though you're older than him, he's bigger than you, like muscular, and you're like slender, like a female hourglass kind of thing, by all means, he might have some control because the way he look will be dominated. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of women like big muscular guys, because not only they're thinking about somebody to protect them, but they think that they could control them. Those guys can control them, dominate them kind of situation. So the size matters, bro. So the reality is what I'm trying to say, um, Sharon, is in any instances, however you want to look at it, um, woman wants someone who's stronger than she is, someone who's gonna take control. But you do have the alpha woman that she wants to be strong, she wants to be in control. So it just depends. So what I'm saying is that if a woman who's strong go for someone who's not strong, perfect relationship. And it goes vice versa. Perfect example. A lot of women that's um they would date skinny guys, and these women, they were bigger than the skinny guys. Now, the reason why they date skinny guys, because most of the time they're the ones in control, because they know that they could dominate this person per se. I seen videos where wives, she is, bigger than her husband. Her husband might be short, she might be tall, or whichever way. And if this husband were to cheat or lie or something like that, she would just slap him around like just a piece of paper. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that these things happen. Like, you could love someone, it doesn't matter what they look like. But what I'm talking about is, I'm talking about alphaness, the ones who's really in control. Do you know that most wife who's in control, the husband have no idea that she's in control, but she's in control? I'm not only talking about she taking care of the house, she paying the bills kind of situation, she talked to the accountant, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, she want him to be home at a certain time kind of control. I'm talking about she don't want him to talk to a particular friend kind of control. I'm talking about, like, if he wants to hang out at the bar with his friend, she's saying no, not today kind of situation. Yes, you have these women, and most men, they have no clue, because they think that they're in a happily, their marriage is just like a fairy tale marriage, and they don't know that the wife is in control. But yeah, most marriage wives are always in control, always. This is just the reality. Once you're married, most of the time, yeah, she's in control. It's rare where she's not in control, and I think most of the time when she's not in control, it might have something to do with the alpha. If he's really alpha, no matter what she tries, she's not gonna be able to control him. So she has to be like, okay, well, you know what? Just let him do whatever he wants, and I'll just go with it. And that's just the reality. You know what I mean? So, and if she refused to go with it, then she's gonna leave and she's gonna go her way. So, most people, Okay, listen. Blair, let me tell you something about finding a partner. Okay, as I said before, um, I used to be wild, so I pretty much understand what's out there, what's in the club. I understand what's in church. I understand like when I say I'm out there, I used to be out there. So I pretty much have the experience in almost every area that you can possibly think of. So for me to be like retired and enjoying my um, isolation is just because I know what to expect in every instance, every um, situation. And that's why a lot of my friends, they reach out to me from time to time because they already know, listen, this guy, he was the man at one point. Right now I'm not really the man. I'm just like a regular dude, just doing what I gotta do. It's like it doesn't matter to me anymore. I have reached that point, and I think after you reach a certain age, whether you're male or female, it's like stuff doesn't really matter to you anymore. Like for me, um, I don't really have to do much, really. I just walk outside. I don't have to think about my looks or anything because I don't really have anybody to impress. I don't really want to impress anyone. Like I just do whatever makes me feel good. That's it. Some people are not like that. They have to impress, which is okay. Okay both ways. It's what makes you feel good. Like for instance, I like to see women dressed up and looking really nice and you know smelling good, their hair well done, that kind of stuff, nails and all that stuff. I like seeing that stuff. I'm just saying for me as a man, I'm like, I don't want to be. I think there's a name that you call those guys. They take care of themselves, like manicure, pedicure kind of stuff. They always got to be groomed and I just would like to be rough at this point. I just like sometimes I let my beard grow out. I shave it up, do that kind of stuff, but yeah, I'm just not too extreme with myself. That's just me. Other people do different things, which is okay. Everyone needs to do different things, and it's fine for everyone to do things the way they want to do it. You know what I mean? Like whatever makes you happy, I said, do you, boo boo. Do you? If it makes you happy, do it. If you like dressing up every day, dress up every day. You would like to get your hair done every day, get it done. Manicure, pedicure, whatever it is, bubble bath. You know what I mean? Um, if you want to go to the spa, whatever you want to do, get a massage, all that stuff, you do it because that's your body. You take care of it however you can. That's the bottom line, and that's how I always look at stuff. You gotta take care of you the best you know how, and you gotta be happy with yourself. That's just the main thing. Don't worry. Like for me, I'm not worrying about anything. So I advise all my friends here: don't worry about anything. Just do whatever you want. You know. But I gotta say this: but you only can do whatever you want when you don't have someone next to you every single day. But if you live with your husband, live with your wife, you will not be able to do what you want every day. Well, listen, Sharon, the bottom line is looking and smiling. I think Sharon, happiness is a big deal. Well, you don't really need a haircut, to be honest. You just do whatever makes you happy, Jim. That's what I'm saying. That haircut is not a big deal, guys. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to get a haircut. I'm just saying, as a guy, you don't really need to. You could just grow it and just be rough and just do whatever you want to do. That's just the bottom line. For women, I think you guys need to do what you do because I like seeing women looking their best. That's just coming from me. I just like to see that. Like they looking their best, I just like to see that. It's like seeing a nice car drive by from time to time. I like to see that. Like, oh, that's a nice car. But no ill intention. I'm not thinking anything crazy. I just like to see it because it looks good. I like nice cars. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that, but if I have like crazy intentions, then you know what I mean. I want to do anything to get a nice car, kind of situation. Then I'll have a problem. You know what I mean? And I don't want to ever find myself in that particular situation. So, and not only that, yeah, it's just too much. But anyway, what I was saying is that happiness come first with everything that we're dealing with, especially in this world. I say, if you're not happy, I'm sorry. Means especially if it has to do with a relationship situation, kids, job, whatever it is, family member being sick, all that stuff. If you're not happy, I mean, I'm sorry about that. But I would say the only thing you can do is have faith and try to fix the problem if you can fix the problem. Because if you have a relative who's sick, I mean, in the hospital or whatever, maybe it's not much that you can do in that particular situation. So I kind of understand that, but you just have to hope for the best, but otherwise, if you can be happy, be happy. Yeah, yeah, it's okay, no problem. It's good to do back and forth things, show the love. Slim, I completely understand it. Yeah, I'm just saying, guys. Tonight, I just been talking about relationship, and people like talking about relationship. People like listening, especially when it has to do with relationship, because most of us here either have a problem with the relationship, either have a problem with the opposite person, or we in a relationship that we're not completely happy, or maybe we're in a happy relationship. Some of us are in happy relationship. As long as the male or female know their boundaries or whatever it is, know what line not to cross, and you get to do whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, you do it. But I'm just saying that in some relationship it's very difficult because you have someone like overshadowing you, like someone over your head constantly. Like for instance, like how many people at, I don't know what's the time. I know everybody have different time zone right now, but over here, I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm good. By the way, over here it's 12 midnight. Okay, so most of you guys that are here right now watching, I'm thinking if you guys had your significant other next to you, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you have, what I mean, next to you, you wouldn't be able to be on YouTube, what I mean, supporting me, which we're cool, we're friends, no problem, what I mean? But you wouldn't be able to do that because I guarantee you the person who you're with, especially if they're into you, they would not want you to spend your time talking to your friends on the phone or even watching or communicating with one of your friends here in YouTube land, I call it. You know, they will have a problem with it, and then before you know it, that problem could start into something else. Um, I know for a fact, guys. I don't have to go in names, but I know this happened to a lot of people. Did you guys know that being a YouTuber is very easy to cause problems in your relationship? Are you guys aware of that? For most of the people who tune in, being a YouTuber, if you have a relationship, you can't be on YouTube that much because it could cause problem. Now, if you're dating someone who into the YouTube thing, kind of like what you do, they'll understand. But I'm talking about someone who's not. Is that it's like you dating someone who's a pastor, right? You're dating someone who's a pastor, and I'm your friend. And at this time of night, you're on your phone or your laptop or your tablet, whatever device you're on, watching, commenting. Do you think he will agree that that's a good thing to do? No, he's probably not going to agree. Even though you would say, "Oh, that's my friend. I'm just, giving him some support because I see what he's doing. I like what he's doing. He's positive. He's always talking about stuff that's, people are going through, like whether it's his friends or family or something that he went through. He's sharing with us. I'm not sharing anything crazy. I'm not saying anything that's inappropriate. I'm not doing any of that stuff. But still, the point what I'm trying to say, guys, for everyone who's listening, no matter how you look at it, you will find someone having a problem with that. Well, okay, well, Sharon, I don't know about you per se. Maybe you have that good support system where you could do whatever you want and, he got your back. But not every woman has that same support system. And that's like a rare support system to have where, you know, because most likely you guys probably not going to be the same place, if you supporting one of your friends here in the YouTube land. Um, if he's in the, I would say, in the bed trying to sleep for work tomorrow, whatever the case might be, maybe it's your day off tomorrow, so you could be up. Um, you already know it's not going to be cool for you to be on YouTube, whether you have in your earphones or if you letting your laptop play, whatever you're doing, it's going to be a problem to him. And the truth is, because he don't know who I am, maybe if he knows me and, that's my friend, then it will be different. Oh, okay, it's marvelous. It's fine. It's not going to affect him. But some other guy in YouTube land, you're supporting, you're showing your love to, men gets jealous easily. Even though it's just like you watching a movie or you're reading a book. Some husband have a problem with his wife always reading a book. Some men have a problem with his wife always watching soap opera or the other TV shows and all that stuff. Oh, what you been doing, watching soap opera all day? Which is not even a problem. As long as everything is done in the house, over 50, I see you still here. As long as everything is done, I don't think, a man should have any problems with his wife. Hey, Supermom, I see you here. Appreciate the thumbs up. Happy to see you. I was supporting your channel earlier. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that in relationship, it's never easy. Relationship is always hard, because male sometimes make it like a, yeah, appreciate the thumbs up, man. Thank you, Supermom. So just hang around for a while. What I'm saying is I'm talking about relationship real quick. Yeah, no problem. I got you. Yeah. So what I'm sharing just some of my relationship experience with you guys. Like what I have been through. So what I'm saying is that Sharon, is that in a relationship, whether it's the male or the female, from my experience, they get jealous whenever they see you spending time, whether it's on your phone, maybe talking to your sister all the time. And most of the time, it doesn't have to be all the time. But if they see you on the phone, especially at night, talking to your sister, talking to your mom, whoever it is, or friend on the phone, they get jealous. You know what I mean? And you will not be able to be in the same bed with your significant other, boyfriend, husband, whoever it is, and be here watching YouTube world. They're just not gonna accept it. And if you have a cool, boyfriend who does that, he's like one in a million. And also, back to what I was saying, you are the alpha. Now, I think personally, because I watch pretty much all of your videos, Sharon, I can say maybe you are an alpha. So in your relationship, you're the one who's in control. When you're talking about Slim, she would be an alpha. In her relationship, she's gonna be the one in control because how I see, okay, most of you guys, I watch your content, you watch my content, so I kind of have an idea of what kind of personality you guys have because I've been supporting your guys' channel now for over a year. Slim and Sharon, Supermom Go, all you guys have been supporting your channel for over a year now. So I kind of have an idea about your personality, even though sometimes you gotta make it a little bit flashy so the audience will catch it because you want viewers from all over to be able to resonate with your channel. But still, for me, I can see the personality based on how you talk and what you're saying. Because no matter if you, speaking proper or whatever the situation is, the words that you use can tell me personally what kind of person you are. Just because you use your, everyone has a pattern of how they talk, even if it's proper, even if you change it up, even if you're doing that job interview thing, because when we're looking for a job, we get to that level because it's a job interview, so we're getting real proper. So all of us, we do that. So I know this for a fact, Supermom. I can tell you these things I know. So when I watch everyone, I know what it is. So what I'm trying to get at is, Sharon, because I know you're still watching, is I know in your relationship, you know, your boyfriend, fiance, husband most likely will not like the fact that you are supporting other YouTubers and not paying him any attention. You know what I mean? And it goes also for a woman. It's kind of like most men who stay home and play video game when he's not working or whatever situation is, and he played the video game till late. I'm talking about 1 in the morning. He's up playing video games. Most women, they get jealous, they get angry with the fact that he's playing video games at that time. But what you find out is, yeah, that's what you have to do. So what I'm saying is that in any instances, the way how you have to look at it is what goes for male goes for female. This is just the reality, especially in relationship. Okay? Because if a guy is playing video games till late in the night, I'm just saying that, like, Sharon, if you're supporting a friend here in the YouTube land, that's YouTube world, um, at this time, because I said over here in New Jersey, it's 12 midnight. So I don't know where you are, if it's the same time, because I know we all have different time zone because we live all over the place. So what I'm saying is that if you were living in New Jersey and you was up on your tablet or, the iPod or whatever you on, whatever you have, cell phone, whatever, and you're, supporting a friend here in the YouTube world, I guarantee you that your, boyfriend, husband, fiance, whoever it is, will have a problem with it. That's all I'm trying to get at. And you said earlier that, you know, most men will not have a problem with his woman being, supporting someone in the YouTube world, being on her phone or tablet or whatever it is, or laptop at midnight, just communicating. And the truth is, whether it's a male or female, they will have a problem with it. Now, if that's why I keep talking to you guys about the alpha situation. Now, I'm not talking about if a woman is single or if a man is single. I'm talking about the alpha world. If a woman is alpha, if you're in a relationship and you're the alpha woman, you could do whatever you want, and I promise you that your boyfriend or your husband will not say anything to you, because you will break it down to him. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm on the phone. I'm talking to my mom, my sister, a friend, or I'm watching a video on YouTube or whatever it is, and that's it. Conversation is over. But if you're not the alpha female and he's the alpha male, he's not going to like that. He's going to be like, why are you up? What are you doing? And all these things. And then you have to deal with that. Well, okay, Blair, what I'm saying is that okay, listen to this, Blair. For instance, if I, okay, living at home with my wife, and I'm here, okay, Supermom go, she does live stream sometimes, back then. She haven't been doing much live stream like she used to, but so say she was doing live streams, right? Each person have to. Well, okay, I understand what you're saying. In the relationship, each person have their own thing, and its habits and all that stuff. But what I'm talking about is not necessarily control, but more so of alpha. The person in every relationship, one person is in charge. Sometimes it's the woman, sometimes it's the male. That's why I call it the alpha male or alpha female. So one of these people are wearing the pants in the relationship. Sometimes the women are wearing the pants, sometimes the female is wearing the pants. There's no such thing as they're both wearing the pants. If you hear someone says both of them is wearing the pants, then you know they're lying. Because it doesn't work like that. There's no even playing field. Why you think, Sharon, that if a woman is making more money than a man, why you think he gets so upset? Why you think it's affecting him? Why you think he talk about it with his friends? Maybe not his family, but with his friends. Why you think it affects him so much? Do you know why it affects him? Like when I was younger, I found myself in that situation. I used to date an older woman, and I wasn't making that much money, but I was working. That time I was working at Pet Boys. Okay, I was do the changing tires on cars and installing batteries and lights and all that stuff and small works on the engine at Pet Boys. I used to work back then. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like maybe over 10 years ago. So at that time, when I'm dating this woman, at the time I think I was probably in my 30s, you know, and I was dating this woman. She was way older than I am. She had a good career job and she was making mad money. And she would come to my apartment, but she most of the time she would want me to go to her apartment. And then she asked me if I want to move in. Okay? And then she tried to give me a key and said, "This is a key. You can come to my house whenever you want. You can stay over, do whatever you want." And then she tried to say, we should, get a house together. You know what I mean? Like all these things that she was just coming up out of the woodwork with. And later on, I find out that she was trying to control me. So what she was trying to do, guys, is because she was making a lot of money and I was working at Pet Boys and I wasn't making that kind of money, and she had a nice apartment and she wanted to get a house. She wanted us to get a house together. We wasn't even married. We was just dating. Yeah, we was dating for a while, but still, why you want to get a house with someone and you're not even married to him or anything like that? And the fact that, I found out that even if she was not the alpha, the fact that she's older than I am, the fact that she has more money than I am, she would try to control me. So, like I'm saying, Sharon, I know you're listening. So, what gives me the proof that she's trying to control me? Whenever, so say I'm spending the weekend with her, right? And a friend called me up and said, "Listen, you know what? We're gonna be hanging out. We're gonna play some spades, some cards, whatever." I said, "Okay, I'll be there in a little bit." So when I go, I said, "Listen, I'm gonna go hang out with the guys for a minute. I'm gonna play some, spades or whatever." She would say, "No, you can't go. You know what I mean? I need you here." And I'm saying, what the hell is happening right now? I'm just telling her because I feel like I want to be nice to say, "Listen, right now, I'm gonna hang out with some guy, play some spades. You already know the guys. You already know my friends. Why are you giving me a hard time right now?" She said, "If you go, don't come back." You see what I'm saying? So who was the alpha in that situation? And then, to be honest, at the time, I didn't go. I called up my friend and be like, "Yo, man, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to make it." And I know those guys probably was making fun of me that time. You know what I mean? They probably was making fun. "Oh man, yeah, he's whooped. Like, I can't believe he can't leave the house." That's the kind of relationship that woman or man, you don't want that kind of relationship. A woman's supposed to be able to go and hang out with her friends, be able to go see her family whenever she want to see her family. And if she want to do overtime at her job, it's respectful to call and say, "Okay, listen, I'm gonna be at work a little bit extra, you know what I mean, whatever." It's okay to call, but even if you don't call, And when you leave in work, you call to say, okay, I just leave work now, whatever the situation might be. The guy that you're dating or married to, he should not be upset with you because you was working and because you didn't call him and say, oh, listen, I'm gonna be at work maybe extra 4 hours, so I'm gonna be home late tonight. You know what I mean? If you trust your woman, she shouldn't have to call you every 5 minutes. She shouldn't have to call you to say, I'm going to the grocery store, whatever it is. I think you do that out of kindness and because you want him to know what you're doing. That's all it is, a kindness. It's not really a controlling thing. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say to you guys, that relationship is not easy no matter how you look at it. That's what grandma said. So grandma says, if you put a leash on a man's neck, it won't last. Well, listen, grandma, you know what you're talking about. Okay, that's just the reality. You cannot control. Well, I think there are some men that you can control. That's just the reality. It's just like you have weak women, you have weak men. You have some women that they could be in a relationship that the guy or the husband is cheating for years and years and years. And she would know that the husband or the guy is cheating and she would never do anything about it. I have friends who was in this situation. For years, the husband is cheating and she knows, and she was too weak to pick up and leave. Yeah, you know why she was too weak to pick up and leave? First of all, she didn't have any friends. And the way how he did it was he took her away somewhere far away from her family, and he told her not to talk to her family and all that stuff. So her mom, dad, sisters, brothers, she don't talk to anyone. So when he start doing all his cheating, she didn't know who to call. So she stuck in that situation for years, and then she started having kids and all these things. And the guy would still be cheating all those years, and she would still stay there. But you know what? One day, she felt so hurt. She was crying at her job, and then a friend, co-worker, sat with her and have a conversation and talk to her, and she opened up and she told a friend what was happening. So what happened is the friend said, listen, you have two choices. You can either pick up and leave, or you need to get the help that you need. You need to see a psychiatrist or something like that, because whether you're a woman or a male, you should not hold all those things within, because eventually you're going to snap. Oh, by the way, I used to watch that show called Snap. I understand why women snap. Okay? And women snapping all the time. All the time women are snapping. So what I'm just saying is that I know earlier, Sharon, she said that, once everyone knows, their role and the boundaries, and, it won't be a problem. And I'm just saying that the reason why she's saying this thing is because she's the alpha, and because she's the alpha, she can do these things and the male won't say anything about it. So in every relationship, you're either the alpha female or the alpha male, and that just tells me who's in control. But yeah, people try to control me before, so I understand how it is, but I never try to control anyone, because that's not what I'm about. Let me see what's going on. Well, you see, Sharon, for the most part, okay, hold up. Let me see, Slim, what you said. Slim, I'm about to bed. So Slim, if you're getting sleepy, get some rest. I know it's a bit late. I don't have work tomorrow, so I could be up as late as I really want anyway. So get some rest. Stay in touch like always, Slim. Okay, Sharon, you are making some valid points. I know it has a lot to do with insecurity. You know, a lot of male um, is insecure. A lot of females are insecure, and maybe, like what you're saying, Sharon, you got a point. Maybe these are the reason why they are controlling or try to control the other person. I think for most of the time, this is what happens, and it's been happening like this for quite some time to a lot of people because they. I'm old school because. So okay, I know you're old school, and most old school um they just do the housework. They basically know their responsibility. You know what I mean? And the problem is once they know their responsibility and whoever they dating know their responsibility, most of the time it goes together perfectly. But over 50, I said earlier to Sharon that if she had her husband, boyfriend, you know, fiance, whoever it is, and she was on her phone at night, um, or watching a YouTube video, most of the time, the husband would come wherever you, maybe you in the living room, wherever you in are with the laptop, and comes to, aren't you coming to bed? Now, if you have a husband and you live with someone, if you don't live with anyone, you pretty much can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? That's the key. The key is when you live with someone, like for me, I'm not living with anyone, so I pretty much could do whatever I want. But I'm just saying that for Sharon, like if you live with someone, you will find that a lot of things that you're doing now, you can't really do it once you're with that person because it's going to create problems. You know, but however, I get what you're saying. If you have someone and, you know, the person is not insecure, no matter what you do is not a problem, then, you know, you got a cool person. Those people comes once in a lifetime, you know. Over 50, maybe that's the kind of husband that over 50 would really want, you know. Over 50, that's what I'm saying. The if you have a good man in your life, because okay, right now there's a lot of women, okay, they raise their kids on their own, and I know this is not easy for these women that does that because especially if you have boys, it's a lot of work raising boys on your own when the father is out doing whatever he wants to do. But some of the times, you know, you got to ask yourself, why is that? What did I do? And most sometimes it's a simple answer. Is that is a choice that you made? Is that's all it is? It's a choice. Why, you know, people are not still married because someone made a choice. I know some people would say it's they're not compatible and all that stuff. No, it's just basically a choice. Um, when you first meet someone, you know, everything is always good. But even before you start having kids, you start finding out all these things that you didn't know before. And some people get stuck. And 10 years later, that's it. You know, you find yourself married and with kids with someone that you're not really happy with. Because most of the time, they're not only abusive, but they want to be in control. That's the problem. Because I believe that any woman here right now can stay in a relationship for many, many years if the guy is not abusive and if he's not having a lot of women. Or maybe you have a woman, extra woman, a side piece, whatever you want to call it. If he's not doing these things, regardless if he's not showing love, regardless if he works too much, regardless if he has a drinking problem, whatever he's doing, as long as he's not abusive and he's not cheating, women will work with it. Unless you're one of those women that have extra needs, then by all means, that's not enough. You're gonna expect more, because you're gonna be like, well, he doesn't cheat on me, he doesn't abuse me, but he's just not emotionally connected to me. He's just drinking, he eats, he go to sleep, and that's what marriage is about. And most women, they don't want that kind of marriage. They rather live on their own with their kids that be in a relationship or stay in a marriage where the husband is not showing love. Well, the thing is, um, Blair, I know it's never easy. What I mean? I'm just gonna say that out there. I know I have to choose words, because a lot of people watch it eventually. Um, in any relationship, no matter how you look at it, um, most women think they don't have a choice, but they do have a choice. You know, your choice is maybe you could date a younger guy, or your choice is maybe you could date an older guy, and the choice that you have is basically where you want to find these people now. Because I know old school days, women. Well, you know what, Supermom, I understand what you're saying. Love without action is not love. Supermom. Listen, for me, you know what I used to say back in the day. I still believe this, and I used to say this long ago. I used to say, if there's no trust in the relationship, then there's no love. Okay, and then I change it to, if there's no trust in the relationship, then there's no relationship. That's what I change it to, because what you said, Supermom, makes perfect sense. But this is the reality. But yes, you do have choice. Okay, listen. The crazy thing is, I have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people in church, a lot of people at the job. Most of them, you know what they say to me? They said it's difficult to find a good man. That's what they say. It's difficult to find a good man. A lot of my friends, they say that. I have a lot of friends that when they go home to their house, they're lonely because they're home alone, or maybe they live with family, but they do not have like the warmness of a husband next to them, or a boyfriend, or whatever you have next to you every day, that you could lay next to and be happy with that person. Why do you guys think women have that problems? Why are they lonely? Listen, first of all, there's more than enough men out there, but you can't think all the men are dogs, because all men are not dogs. The problem is the one that you are attracted to are dogs. That's the reality. You probably want those fly guys, and everybody know fly guys have fly issues. Okay, that's just the reality. People don't want to hear it. Listen, yes, yes, Sharon, you're right. Trust is a big issue. I know many people don't understand how big trust is, but most of the time, let me tell you, okay, most women right now, they're you was happy in your marriage, but listen, first of all, Blair, let me tell you something, okay? A lot of women say they was happy in their marriage, but the truth is they're lying to themselves. Or if you're happy in your marriage, maybe your husband wasn't happy in the marriage. Okay, this is just the reality. This is how it is. So a lot of people try to make that, I would say, that story within their head, saying that I was in a happy marriage. You know, most of the time it's not really a happy marriage, because not every marriage is just flowers and gardens every single day. It doesn't work like that. Marriage is ups and downs. It's kind of like a roller coaster, or kind of like potholes on the road. I never drive on a road where there's no potholes. Like, I never drive everywhere. Everywhere I drive, there's a pothole somewhere. So it's rare that you on a road, especially living in the city area. I haven't been on many roads where there's no potholes. And even if you're on a smooth sailing road and it takes you for a long time smooth sailing, I guarantee you're going to hit a bump somewhere along the line. So you cannot say that, oh, I was in a perfect marriage, my marriage was this good, and you know what, my husband, he got sick and he passed away, but my marriage was perfect. Because you know what, at the end of the day, you think it's perfect, but it's never always perfect. There's always some kind of issue. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You did say that your marriage was great, but what I'm saying is that in most instances, fairy tale marriage comes once in a lifetime. From my experience, listen, I have a lot of friends who are married. A lot of friends who are married for many, 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 many years. But what I'm saying is that for you, maybe you was in a happy marriage, and you say you were a widow. So how you know that he was happy just as much as you are? You know what I mean? So for in order for you to know if he's happy as much as you are, is basically you guys go to some kind of counseling or whatever it is, and you know, you guys talk about it, and you guys do stuff together often to find that, okay, you guys completely trust each other in whatever ways. But what I'm saying is that these are what you call fairy tale relationship. Every single relationship have issues. This is just the reality. Yes, once you don't have the trust anymore, that's pretty much it. Well, okay, Jim, I understand what you're saying. In any situation, a husband should be happy, but for the most part, husbands struggle with more than what the wife usually struggle with. This is just the reality. So I can tell you this from a man's perspective. You know what I mean? Who are married and all that stuff. So you know, I wouldn't say anything if I don't know the marriage game. You know what I mean? You got to be married to understand how the marriage game works. So when I'm telling you that marriage is not easy, and it's difficult, and it's a lot of work, and a matter of fact, when you're married, um, basically you never stop working on it. So for you, Blair, I think your marriage might be like once in a lifetime kind of marriage. I never seen any of my friends had that kind of marriage. And I listen, okay, I have a friend, because even my parents, they're married, okay? Um, my mom is married. She's been married for many years. Um, I have a friend, he's been married for many years. But all of them have tons of problems. You know, they argue, but the one thing that makes the marriage work is because they know how to resolve the problem. They know how to talk, they know how to communicate. And even if they're mad, they're just mad for a minute or maybe for a few days, and they cool down, and then they start moving forward. Whatever happened, they just say, okay, I'm sorry, whatever it is, and put it behind them and keep moving forward. That's what marriage is. So when you say that you in that fairy tale marriage, I said your marriage is once in a lifetime. Because I know people that have been together 60 years. 60 years. Blair, I don't know if you're 60 or 70, but I'm just telling you, I know people who've been married for 60 years. And they say they got issues. A lot of ups and downs. I witnessed the ups and downs because I'm around them. Okay? So I know they argue. I know sometimes they don't talk to each other. So what I'm saying is that I'm telling you guys from experience about the relationship world, because whether you're 70, whether you're 60, listen, I have a friend, he's 80, and he's divorced not too long ago. And he always shares knowledge with me about the marriage game. And one thing that is in common with every single marriage, period. Because people like to think that marriage are different, or this marriage. No, all marriage are pretty much the same. The only difference is whoever is in control, whether it's the male is in control, or the female is in control, or it's a religious thing, or it's not a religious thing. That's it. But all marriage is the same thing. The man expects a certain things, the woman expects certain things. The man have his role, the woman have his role. That's it. It's so simple, but people make it so complicated by adding all kinds of other things within the marriage. and that's why they have problems, so and then you're going to pick up financial problems, then you have the problems with the kids, then you have the problems with the siblings, you got the problems with the moms, parents kind of problem, so when you married, problems coming from everywhere, you know what I mean? And that's what I call those small problems, guys. So that's what I'm trying to say, Blair. I was married for 18 years. Okay, okay, listen, I know people right now, Blair, who's married for 20 years. Okay? But for me to tell you that for those whole 20 years that they didn't have any problems, Blair, I'll be lying to you. Everyone have problems. Supermom, you already know how it is. Marriage, full-time job. Listen, Supermom, being okay. Let me put this. Being a mom, okay, being a husband, and if you have a job, that's like 3 jobs, guys. Being a mom, being a wife, and having a regular job. 3 jobs. Ask any husband, they will say the same thing that I'm saying. Because marriage is a job. And you have to know your position. Listen, I'm sharing this kind of knowledge with you because I experience it, and I have friends who's living through it right now. And I'm talking about, I have friends from 70, 60, 40s. Well, yeah, I don't really have much younger friends, but most of I got a couple young friends in the 35, whatever it is, but most of my friends are from 40 and up to like 70, 80 kind of friends. So I have friends from different age group, and I visit them. Right now I don't visit much people, but I still call them up or whatever it is, make sure everybody's all right. But because right now is a pandemic, you can't really do much. But what I'm saying, guys, is my experiences is coming from elderly people, different kind of age groups. So what I'm sharing with you is not what other people experience, what I experience. So I'm just telling you guys straight up that the love thing, the marriage thing, even with kids, like Supermom, I know you've been a mom for a while. Your kids are big. They're not fully grown, but they're big enough where they could do what they want to do until they get old enough to get married and have their own life. But if you, Supermom, says that taking care of your sons hasn't been a job, especially if you've been doing it on your own, I would know that, that's not real. Because taking care of your kids is a job. And if you had a husband right there as well, you had to take care of your husband as well. This is just the reality, guys. So I don't know. I'm saying, Blair, you're different. So you out of the picture because you had like a special marriage, which is okay. But for me, I ain't never had no special marriage, and I don't know about other people, but I'm just saying I could speak for me. You know what I mean? My marriage was just a regular marriage. So I go through everything that everybody has been through in their marriage. So Blair, you're the first person that I have met in my entire life who had that perfect, marriage. I never met anyone in my entire life who had a perfect. I know people who are still married to this day. As I said, in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, they still married. But in that marriage, they had tons of problems. The key is that they knew how to work on their marriage. They knew how to fix stuff. They didn't let stuff go, because when you let stuff go, it keep adding up and building up and building up. And next thing you know it, that's it. It create chaos, and that's when you guys completely broke apart. Because the little problems become big problems. So in marriage, when you have a little problems, you have to catch it and fix it right away. And it takes just one person to try to fix it. Because if 2 people are mad at each other, then you're not going to get anything done. That's what I'm trying to tell you from experience. No, dear, I said there is such a thing as perfect marriage. Oh, okay, Supermom. So you had a perfect marriage? That's what you're telling me, Supermom? Now I'm just checking with you, because you said that there's such thing as perfect marriage, because that's what Blair said. Blair said she had a perfect marriage. Okay, so Supermom, you didn't have a perfect marriage. Okay, I didn't have a perfect marriage. I'm just telling you. So, um, but Blair said she had a perfect marriage. So her marriage now, Blair, is a widow, but in the I think 20 years, I think that she been married, because I think she married to her school sweetheart or something like that. That's what you said, Blair. I think you said you married young, and you just stayed with that one person, and everything was fine. Um, I said that we have our ups and downs. Okay, it's okay to have ups and downs. Super mom, I get it. Every relationship we have ups and downs. But Blair, what I'm saying is that I never said that you know you didn't have a perfect marriage. I just said that, Blair, your relationship, your marriage that you had, now that you're a widow, but for the 20 years that you've been married, was great. I'm just saying that those marriage comes around once in a lifetime kind of situation. Not many people you would find that has those kind of marriage. I thought you said like it was like perfect. You never had any problem. But I'm just saying that I just don't know anyone with a perfect marriage from my experience. You know what I mean? Like I'm in my 40s. So you're telling me from all my years all the way to 40s, I ain't never seen nobody in a perfect marriage. You know what I mean? Before you know I'm gonna be 50, I still ain't seen nobody in the in a perfect marriage. So for me, I never seen it. So Supermom said that she saw perfect marriage, or she said it does exist. And I'm saying, Blair, that I never seen it in over 40 years. And I've been looking. I've been looking. I'm not saying that I haven't been looking. So in my marriage, I never had no perfect marriage. So I could tell you guys that it can be close to. Okay, Sharon, you said that the marriage could be close to perfect. Let me think about that, Sharon. Hold on. Blair, you would probably agree, and Supermom, you probably would agree also with Sharon, what she just said. And I don't know, it's kind of difficult, Sharon, because close to being perfect is still questionable because I never really experienced it. But I think it's possible. I really think it's possible. Because I don't get me wrong, okay, Supermom. I'm just saying from a man perspective, I would say okay, there might be such thing as a good marriage. Okay, good marriage consists on the wife does what she's supposed to do, the husband does what he's supposed to do, the husband is not abusive, the husband is not cheating. You know what I mean? The husband takes care of his responsibility kind of situation. You know what I mean? That's I consider to be a good marriage. But even in good marriage, what I said earlier, there's these small little bumps that someone is not gonna like at one particular point. Either the husband don't like this what you did, or the wife doesn't like whatever you did. Either somebody don't like something. So it's very hard for me to digest something like that, just to believe that you've been married for 20 years and there's no hiccups. That's very confusing, especially to me because I never seen it. But I think it might be possible that somewhere out there, um, that there's that kind of marriage. And like I said earlier, marriage takes a lot of work. Yes, I do know marriage takes a lot of work. That's a fact. You don't have to tell me. What I mean, I know. But okay, earlier what I said, I said that I've been in marriage that not marriage. I've been in relationship when I was younger, and I was dating an older woman. I think she was like maybe 10 years older than I am or something like that. And because she was working, she was making more money than I am. She tried to control me. Now, that said and done, guys, I think in marriage, what I said before with the alpha male, alpha female, if everyone knows their role and knows their job, most likely will not have a problem. Earlier, over 50, she said something that makes perfect sense. She said she liked being taking care of the household and that kind of stuff, like stay at home, like a housewife, something like that. So what I'm saying is that if you know and you like what you do, which is taking care of the house and stuff like that, and the husband like getting up every morning, go to work to get the bread, bring it in, take care, make sure everything is paid and all that stuff. For the most part, hey, how you doing, Queen? Happy to see you. Appreciate you showing up with a thumbs up. So what I'm saying is that if the wife know her role and the husband knows his role, most likely they're not going to be an issue in that factor. But what I'm trying to explain to you guys is, especially Supermom, what I'm trying to explain is that even though she knows her role as a wife, what I mean, and he knows his role as a husband, you will still find some kind of small problems that you guys will not agree on. Now, if okay, and now I'm gonna get to the point. If Supermom and Sharon and Blair, because you guys are here, if you guys happen to be in a relationship and you have an alpha male, maybe you are the kind of woman who like a manly man. Now, a macho man. Manly man, macho man, meaning he's in control. Like if he takes you out to a restaurant and you try to put a tip, he'll be like, nah, put that away. I pay the tip, I'll pay for the food, I'll hold the door, I do all that stuff. And if there's anything need to work on the house, I'll fix it. I'll take the garbage out. Manly man stuff. If you like someone like that who, control everything in your circle or maybe that surround him, then most likely you're not going to have any problems because he's always in control of everything. If you guys go out to buy new furnitures for the house and he said to look around and whatever you like, he said okay, he can't afford that. At the end of the day, you're going to get what he can afford. What I mean? It's not like you're using your money to buy it. So if you're in a relationship and it's like half and half kind of situation, then most of the time, I think, nobody's in control in that situation. My husband is like that. Oh yeah, well, maybe you Supermom, maybe you have a good husband. You probably have a really good husband if that's what he's doing, if he's in fully control. And you know what, Supermom? I've been watching your content now for quite some time. As I said, over a year now, I've been, on and off, watching your content. I know your channel is growing, my channel is growing, so I can't really be there every day, but whenever I have time, I, try to show my love. I noticed that from your personality that you are like a good mom, and most of the times, good moms, if they have a husband who's like a manly man, she would let him lead, let him be the husband. In order for him to be a good husband, he has to be the leader. And if he's leading, and and you're willing to follow, most of the time you will not have a problem with that. You will work with it, and this is just the reality, and this is how it is. Like always, I know many people have problems in their relationship. Okay, I get that. I get it. It's always like that for most people. But for some instances, you will find some people who have actually really good relationship. And the reason why I think, this is my belief, that the reason why they're having good relationship is because they both know their role. They know how to play their role. They know what their job is. They know what they're responsible to do. As long as each person know what their responsibility is, most likely you will not have a problem. You know, the husband know he needs to provide, and the wife know that she needs to take care of the household. By all means, that's all you really need. And once you accomplish these things, you will find out that you don't have a problem, that everything will work out. And that's what um, I kind of really experience. What's it with Supermom? What's it what you said? The man should be. Okay, Supermom. You see, now I understand, Supermom. Blair. Oh, listen. I always been an alpha male. Okay, and for me, I don't really talk about my wife that much. I don't really talk about my kids that much. Like here on my YouTube channel, I just try to focus more on, you know, just me sharing my content. But like what Blair just asked me a question, if I'm an alpha male, and I'm saying I'm definitely an alpha male. I've always been an alpha male. I think I took a lot of my personality from my dad. One of these days, guys, I'm gonna get my dad here on the channel, and we're gonna have a live stream together, and you guys gonna see where I get my personality from. And you could ask him anything about relationship and all that stuff, and he's straightforward, and he'll let you know like this is what it is, and this is that, and then you'll see where I get my personality from, why I'm where. And the crazy thing is that my kids, they're old enough, but they know that okay, we're like the same. You know what I mean? That I do the same thing that my dad does. I'm doing the same thing, and my kids are doing the same. It's like I pass it down kind of situation. So yes, we are alpha. We want things the way how we want it. First of all, for my wife, I expect her, like when I get home, because she's a housewife. When I get home, she cooked, and at least dinner will be ready. So when I get out, what I mean, in the dining room, everything will be prepared, kind of situation. So for me, I'm more like old school in that genre. Like, if the housewife there, she's not working, when I get home, the things that I need to be ready, like if stuff for me to go to work, everything is laid on the bed kind of situation. So I know I just got to pick up whatever is laid out on the bed for me to go to work. It's all prepared already. That kind of situation, that my coffee is already made, so I don't have to rush. So for me, I'm more like old school family. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what I like. You know what I mean? Sometimes if I don't want my stuff mixing, I'll be like, listen, don't mix the rice with the meat, make it separate kind of situation. So the good thing is, being an alpha, you know what you want, and you know the way you want it. And if a woman or my wife don't want to give me what I want, like if I'm in a relationship, like if I'm divorced or whatever it is, by all means, then it's kind of different, because I'm not going to be happy. And if I'm not happy in a relationship, then what I mean, it's going to be problems, because both people have to be happy. One person can't be happy and the other person not happy, then it's going to be problems. So in relationship, that's why compromise is very important. People don't understand what compromise is in relationship. They don't understand why compromise really works. And earlier, a few people say the same thing about the trust issue. Most people, men in particular, have trust issue. Okay? And I don't know why they have trust issue, but they have trust issue, especially if they know that their wife is really beautiful or whatever the case. What I mean, look like Halle Berry. I like to talk about Halle Berry because she's attractive. If your wife look like Halle Berry, and she's going to the store, going to church, wherever she's going, friend's house, everybody worry about it. Yes, both individuals need to be happy. Yes, so happiness is a big deal. Okay, it doesn't go one way. So if the one person is just happy and the other person not happy, it's not going to work. So what I'm saying is that, Supermom, I guess you've been married now for a while. I'm saying, no matter how you look at the situation, you needs to be happy just as much as he is. I don't believe in the fact that, okay, only one person deserves to be happy, the other person don't have to be happy. No, everybody got to be happy. There's a phrase that people use. I don't know if you guys ever heard this phrase. The phrase goes that if the woman is not happy, then nobody is happy. I don't know what that means. I never really understand it, but I kind of understand from a different perspective what that phrase really means. I know you guys probably heard that phrase multiple times. If the woman is not happy, then nobody is happy. Now, personally, I think that phrase is coming from housewife. Um, when a housewife is upset, maybe because the husband did something that he wasn't supposed to be doing in the first place, when she's upset, everyone usually feels it. Maybe no cooking, maybe nobody's doing the dishes, nobody folding clothes, nobody doing laundry. Um, what else that this wife does? I don't even know all this stuff. You see, that's how it is. Like most husbands don't even know half of the things that housewife actually, not all wife, because some wife they work and they do all kinds of stuff. They even go to the grocery store. They picked up the grocery, take the grocery in the house. Wife do all kinds of stuff. Hey Jackie, oh happy to see you. Okay, we got a Canadian in the house. Yadi, big up yourself. Happy for the thumbs up. Happy to see you. Yeah, Jackie. So today subject we're talking about relationship. It was just a story that I shared earlier. So since you're here, you might want to hear the story. Real quick overall, family member took in this young lady, gave her everything she wanted, bought her a car, all that stuff. Help her out. She wanted to go back to college. He said, okay, don't worry about working, just focus on college. She went to college, messed around with a guy at the college. Actually, she messed around with multiple guys at the college. And then the guy was still willing to marry her and be with her and all that stuff. And then turns out that she one day just randomly say, you know what, I don't want to be with you anymore, packed her stuff and leave and go live with this other guy. And the guy that she was living with introduced her to drugs. Then she become an addict. Then the guy who introduced her to drugs kicked her out the house. Then she was living on the street. And then she went to like a halfway house. I think it's like a rehab. And then, my family member saw her and asked her how she was doing and all that stuff. And she looked really like she was all drugged up. Like, when you see those people like a bum in the street, that's how she was looking. And, and she said that when she got kicked out the house, because, the guy that turned her into an addict, she was going to call my relative, for him to take her back. And the crazy thing is that, my relative was so much in love with this woman, he probably would have took her back. This is the crazy thing. He probably would have took her back. That was the story. That's a really overall of the story. So we were just talking about relationship based on the story of my family member. Yeah, exactly. That was ungrateful because listen to this. First, it started out like this. Like me and him was hanging out one day, my family. He saw her. I guess he liked her. He went up to her, started talking to her. Before you know it, they were dating. You know what I mean? And she got into an argument with her mom, and her mom kicked her out of the house. So when her mom kicked her out of the house, she went to live with my family, which is my cousin, right? She went to live with my family, which is my cousin. And then my cousin did everything for her. I'm talking about taking her shopping, buy her whatever she wants, jewelry, all that stuff. And then, she got a part-time job. And he told her, quit your part-time job if you want to go back to school, to college. I will pay for everything, your tuition, all that stuff. And he even bought her a car. I was there witnessing all these things, which was so weird. He bought her a car, and then she went to college, messing around with all those guys, wilding in the college campus. And then she had the audacity to pack her stuff and leave him, and then go live with this guy. And then this guy introduced her to drugs. You see, that's what you call karma, right? That's why they say what goes around comes around. Karma is crazy, guys. I'm letting you know. Karma is crazy. You don't do crazy stuff to people and think that nothing's going to happen to you. That's why for me, I always try to do good. Because I know if I do bad, eventually bad is going to catch up. It's going to caught me. So what I'm saying is that, so years later, She's drugged up. You know what I mean? Her life is just like ruined. And now my cousin, he's balling. What I'm saying, he bought a nice house, cars in his driveway. The guy's living large. And I'm like, that could have been her. You see what I'm saying? He's married, he's having his kids, cars, jobs, everything, promotion. So I'm like, I go to his house and everything because that's my family, of course. But the fact that he's doing so good, and this woman, what she did to him, he was hurt, guys. I'm the one that he came to, crying to me, telling me how hurt he was. You know what I mean? Because I was close to him. And he was explaining to me that he was really, really hurt what she did. Because he invests so much in this woman. And she just left him. So that's why, I shared that story with y'all. And then I was talking about relationship, about marriage and trust and all that stuff. So yeah, what I'm saying, Jackie, that some women, they do some wild stuff. And right now, I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her or anything like that. But the last time, I heard that she was still in the rehab house or whatever. Hopefully she get herself together. Maybe she get a job at McDonald's or whatever it is. I don't know what she's doing, but she had an opportunity, guys, to do something big with her life. You find someone who taking care of you, give you a car, paying your college tuition, and then you dropped out of college. You end up being a junkie on the street. Come on now. You know what I mean? So I feel sorry for her, but I don't really feel sorry for her. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, how some guys and some women, they were just born with like a silver spoon within their mouth. They get everything that they want. Yeah, well, okay, Supermom, I know that you're religious, so you say that you hope she recover, but you cannot always feel sorry for people who are not sorry for themselves. You know what I mean? Listen. It For me, I feel like that was a learning experience for her. Hopefully she changed, but if she don't, what can I do? Listen, Supermom, let me break this down to you. The reason why, I'm passionate about this right now, because I'm tired of seeing people get an opportunity and they just throw it away. You know what I mean? For me personally, I just saying I'm tired of that because I've seen it a lot. Do you know how many guys I know who got the opportunity? Some of them, they came here in the States at a young age from the islands, and they come here and they do all kind of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, they get deported. And then when they get deported, they call in up here asking, listen, man, can you loan me some money? Can you help me out? Can you do this? And I'm like, you got the opportunity to do good, to have a better life. And here you are throwing it away, hanging out on the street and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Let me tell you something. The people that I'm talking about is people that I know. They didn't come illegally. They come legally, meaning that they have everything corrected. They could go to school, they could get a good job, they could buy a house, have a good family, have a good life, have the dream that everybody wants. And I've seen these things happen to a lot of people. And I shake my head and I'm like, really? What you've been here for like 15, 20 years, 30 years, and what are you doing? Who gets, how many people really wants that opportunity? So all I'm saying, Jackie, is that I already know hardship. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm from what you call the ghetto. I know when I say ghetto, some people understand what ghetto mean. So I got that opportunity and I ran with it. And now I'm living. I'm not saying I'm living large, but I'm living pretty good. Like, I can't complain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all right. As long as I'm not getting myself in trouble, like drinking or smoking or doing any kind of thing, I'm good. Everything else is good. As a matter of fact, even if I quit my job, which I've been working at my job for like 20 years, but I'm saying even if I quit my job today, I'll still be good. That's how good I am right now. You know what I mean? Not everybody has that. So as I'm saying, I know I've been here for a while, sharing information the love with you guys, especially with a lot of you guys. You guys like to talk about relationship. Oh yeah, you grew up in a project. Well, you know what? You ain't the only one. I have a lot of friends who grew up in a project. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people. And believe it or not, a lot of good people is from the project. Like for me, yeah. So a lot of people, they they were living in like bad situation, and they never seem to think of a way to get themselves out of this bad situation. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about like bad situation. And I believe that no matter if you're a woman or a male, as long as you have hands and legs and like everything is working fine, because people don't understand how much they're blessed. People that could see, that could have a mouth to taste and nose and two arms and two legs kind of situation and a good brain to think and make they are to get up and say, "Oh, thank you, God." They should, but most people don't. This is the reality. But guys, I've been here for a while, man. I'm gonna get some rest. It's already like 1 in the morning, and you guys are here with me, like always. Yeah, but now I'm thinking about get the conversation get a bit heated, so we kind of usually on my live stream I do like chocolate taste testing every live stream. So today I decide this is what as you can see it has a lot of calories, but I don't remember. Okay, wait. I think I have it upside down. This one here. This is it. Um, I don't remember trying this one before, but yeah, Supermom. I usually do chocolate taste testing. You know what? That might be too big. I have this small one here. I don't know if you guys ever had this before. I don't know, but I have both of them, and also I have these here as well. These are all chocolate. Let me open it up. This is what they look like. I had some of them. I didn't have all of them. It's just basically different flavors. They look like this. So I could have different kind of chocolate, but I don't want to go crazy with. So I just want to say, listen. First of all, it's not even night anymore because I'm. This is like like 1 in the morning, and yeah, over 50. You guys been here with me now for a while, man, and it's getting pretty late. So I'm gonna do the chocolate taste testing. I'm just gonna have this one. I'm gonna taste it to see what it's have tastes like. And can you guys imagine that this is what I've been doing every single day for the month of December? After this, I'm not gonna be doing live stream as much anymore. So for you guys, I'm happy that you guys are here now supporting because I'm taking a break. Next year, you guys can expect different content, not so much live stream, whatever I'm doing. So that's probably what I'm gonna start doing. So you guys, yeah, I think it was just buffering just now. Sorry about that. But yeah, let me get into it. This is it. Let me get the first bite. There's one bite. Mm. Just want to say, guys, have a good night. Thank you guys for tuning in. Actually, not a good night. What time is it over there? But over here it's almost 2 a.m. in the morning. So I'm like, I've been here for so long, and now I'm doing all this extra chocolate. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight, but this is what this one looks like. Anyway, I'm gonna taste it. pretty good. Anyway, guys. Oh, it's only 10:22 over here. It's like 1:23. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. So that's why I was like, you know what, I gotta say good night to you guys. But to me, it's more like good morning, you know? So you guys, just thank you for tuning in. Oh, by the way, guys, just let you know that tomorrow, I'm probably thinking to do a giveaway, because that might be my the ending of this whole live stream December thing. So I'm thinking for a lot of you guys who've been just here all that time to just do a giveaway with you guys. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for the giveaway, but most likely, yeah, definitely do something. Because you guys been here this whole time, you know what I mean? Especially, yeah, I call it the Livestream December, which was very difficult, but I did it. So thank you guys. Have a good night, good morning, and I will see you tomorrow for the final episode of the December live streams. So guys, take care, be safe, and I will see you tomorrow.